All right, welcome to the Magic Box Talk Show. We're here at the Dollar City on Front Street, downtown Santa Cruz. We're right across from the bus station here, and just kind of right in the middle of the things. A nice, lively place to do a talk show. And Dollar City is also a really nice place to buy a headlamp, or party favors, or fake flowers, or index cards such as this one. Although I have to admit I bought this somewhere else. But from now on, I'll be buying my index cards from the Dollar City. It's also a good place for rubbing out alcohol, toothbrushes, and old paperbacks. There's a whole section of old paperbacks in the back, which I found to be curious and enticing. So right now, as our guest, we have, it's Engel Meister.
I have a headlamp.
You have a headlamp?
Yeah.
Usually you don't need to buy a whole new one.
No, but if I needed to, I'd...
You'd probably buy it here.
I'd come here.
Yes.
And I'd buy, seriously.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
This
is the place to be for if you actually do need a headlamp. You don't already own one. So now you are involved in the Santa Cruz Fringe Festival.
I'm doing a show.
Which is coming up.
There, yeah.
It's the Fringe Festival is a quite theatrical event, I imagine.
Pretty much.
Pretty much. Yeah.
It's got lots of theatricals in it.
Yes.
And dance and circus and. What was it?
Just a little bit of
things,
everything.
Other things.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I've never been. I will have to check it out. What is the dates of the festival?
Oh, I think it starts July 14th, am I right?
I think it's the 13th.
13th.
And the Friday is to the 22nd.
Okay.
If you were to go to the website for Santa Cruz Fringe Festival right now while you're watching the video, then they would tell you for sure. Don't take our word for it. What the hell do we know?
scfringe.org.
I'm just a talk show host.
I think so. SC Fringe with a G.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not with a J.
But I'll be there. I'll be performing there.
Yes,
That's
you
what's
will.
important.
And you will be performing a show about Shakespeare.
A show about Shakespeare.
After midnight.
A show called Shakespeare After Midnight.
Shakespeare After Midnight.
That's
so
wonderful.
Is this what Shakespeare himself does after midnight, or is the show after midnight?
Unfortunately, he's passed.
Oh, so he doesn't do much of anything after midnight except for rot in the ground.
He used to all the time. He used to. Well, that's a terrible thing to say about a friend of mine.
Oh, well.
But it's a sad thing. But it's true.
How could you possibly know Shakespeare? He hasn't been alive for hundreds of years. Thousands.
Millions of years. No, I know people who haven't been alive for thousands of years too. I've known the great and the near great and not so great.
You must be quite old.
I used to know someone like you.
Oh, someone like me.
He was a very nice guy.
Oh, well, I'll take that as a compliment.
But I've been around for a long time. I used to say my age. I don't like to say my age anymore. No one believes me. But
probably a bit embarrassed.
I was born on the 2nd, so.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
There was
the second month or the second day?
The second day of the first year.
Oh, I see.
That was 5 days before Adam.
Oh, yeah.
That was the second.
That was about 3,000 years ago, right? Somewhere in there.
I thought Lilith was in there somewhere.
When the Earth
Do you know
was
Lilith?
created? Did you meet Lilith?
You'll lose track. I've known a lot of Liliths. I was married to 3 of them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
One was fair.
Oh, yeah. And the other was average? Or?
The other was average,
Yeah.
but only Lilith Fair had a festival named for her.
I see.
No, she was lovely. She was sweet. She always loved music. Mm-hmm. She sang a lot.
What kind of music?
Oh, she'd just hum.
Yeah.
She didn't have a good voice, so
whatever she felt the passion for.
Whatever she felt the passion for, she'd hum.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
So tell me more about Shakespeare After Midnight. What would somebody coming to this show expect to see without giving it all away?
Oh, they'd expect to see me and this sort of thing.
I do look at that. Where did they? Well,
Shakespeare was
did you see that
really
thing he
into
had in his
magic.
hand? Yeah, he was.
Awesome.
Shakespeare was into magic. Yeah.
Well,
that's for you.
Thank you. That's beautiful.
Right off the top of my head, I know Prospero was a musician in The Tempest, which is Shakespeare's last play.
That's right. A musician and a magician.
Both of them.
Both of them.
Yes.
Well, I do the same thing. I used to just do a lot of Shakespeare. But people like magic much more. Mm-hmm. You like magic?
I do like magic.
You're an interesting fella.
You think so?
Yeah?
Colin is an interesting fellow.
Well, I'll take that as a compliment.
Not so. Don't question me on it. It's nice enough I offer the compliment.
I'll just accept it for what it is.
Yeah.
So
I didn't expect to be here, so I have.
Oh,
I barely have anything with me. The play you asked about is me talking. This was a play that Will and I worked on together to start after he finished writing the Bible.
Oh, well, he's a very great writer.
Yeah. Well, he finished the Bible, in 1611.
Oh, I see.
And then after that, he just had a lot of free time, so we'd sit around his house and get stoned and, talk about.
Shakespeare was a stoner.
Oh, you didn't know that?
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah,
I would have gotten along with Shakespeare, I think.
Denica would have been in the theater troupe at the Globe
I would,
Theater.
yes, I would have. Well, being a woman, maybe not, but if I dressed up like a man, I could have.
But then there were two things Shakespeare really loved, and that's cannabis and women.
Whoa.
So you two might have gotten along well. I have the feeling you wouldn't have liked him as much as you think you'd like him, but I know he would have liked you, dear.
Thank you.
I didn't know that Shakespeare wrote the Bible, though. That's new for me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, write is a strange word. Translate. He translated.
Depends on how you define the word right.
That was the new edition that came out in 1611.
I see.
The He Bible. That's what we called it back then. There's a little passage in Ruth where it refers to Ruth as he.
He.
That's a mistake.
Oh.
Everybody makes mistakes.
This is true.
Everybody makes mistakes. I make mistakes. You make mistakes.
Even people who write
And
the
they
Bible.
sell erasers here in this Dollar City, too.
And they sell erasers here in this dollar.
For those who make
Which
mistakes.
is very useful if you're a writer because you'll inevitably make a mistake and you want to erase it and then.
That was the connection.
Yeah, that was
I thought that was just random.
That
I thought this was the father of the Dada movement.
Oh. So that sounds wonderful.
I should show you a card trick.
Yes,
You seem
we do
utterly
love.
lost. All right.
We do love
I heard
magic.
you like sonnets as well.
Sonnets are very good.
So-
You have a whole book of them right here.
I have a whole book of them.
And
Those-
these were also written by William
Do
Shakespeare.
you have a favorite?
Oh,
Any of you have a favorite?
I
There's one
can
on
say.
page 22.
Yeah?
There's no page numbers in there.
Oh, there are sonnet numbers.
But do you have the beginning of a sonnet that you know? You've heard of the
I know off the
sonnets?
top of my head that Sonnet 100 has some interesting.
How does it start?
Remember?
How about
I mentioned to me.
how about a sonnet for a lady? A sonnet for a lady?
That sounds great.
Of course, you pick
Yes.
one, though, because I don't have one on the top of my head.
How about
One that you
there's a
like.
well-known sonnet. How are you? Shall I compare thee? You've heard of this? Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. Sometimes too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often, like tonight, is his gold complexion dimmed, and every fair from fair sometime declines. By chance, or nature's changing course untrimmed, but thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou owest. Nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade, when in eternal lines to time thou growest, so long as men can breathe or eyes can see. So long lives this, and this gives life to thee.
That's beautiful. Thank you. That was very well spoken, too.
Who could write that to the stoner who liked women?
Absolutely.
You see what I'm
Obviously,
saying?
there's a clear connection going on there. I believe so. So that's the Shakespeare After Midnight is the name of your
Yeah,
performance.
we do a little bit of Shakespeare. We talk about Shakespeare's life, questions people have about Shakespeare. Sometimes people want to know things. If there's anything you want to know,
Right.
I'm the one guy who has the answers. I knew him. I taught him. I worked with him.
Yeah. So what about these rumors that Shakespeare was actually written by the plays that are attributed to him are actually written by somebody else?
I mean, I try not to take the credit. I gave him a lot of good ideas.
Right.
But really, he did the work, and you give the fellow the work. You can't claim credit for ideas.
Some people
Right.
think Queen Elizabeth was responsible for some of the work, but
She was tremendously responsible for the work. She inspired him, and she worked with him. She'd sit there and she'd listen. I'd be sitting up with him sometimes at night. We'd be smoking.
Yeah.
Guard would come by.
Marijuana, of course.
Guard would come by. It goes without saying. Guard would come by the house and say, "Queen wants him." He'd go over there. I don't know what they did all night, but he came back with a smile on his face.
Oh, it must have been something highly enjoyable, I would imagine.
I assume it was Parcheesi.
Oh, well, that's a favorite, I'm sure, including in Elizabethan England.
Boggle.
So Shakespeare after midnight. When and where can people
It's gonna be
view
at
this wonderful show of yours?
Well, thank you so much. It's very kind. It's very nice.
Yes, you
Keep going.
At the 418, just got lost in my head. At the
418
418 project.
Hey, that's right up the street from here.
It's right next to the street.
Yeah.
At the Friday and Saturday nights at midnight in tribute to our late nights. It's a 5-act play in 50 minutes, down from the original 8-hour running time.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sometimes
nicer
sometimes
than-
you have to cut it just for time constraints.
Yeah, for
So-
people paying attention.
It's
So you-
literally after midnight? You're gonna
Literally
be
after,
performing?
well, it's 3 of the nights are at midnight. I think the third one is at 12:30.
Well, if you start at midnight, then most of it will actually happen after.
I'm
midnight.
looking forward to performing this show for both of the audience.
Oh, great.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, or perhaps all 3 of them. So you had mentioned a card trick. Would that
wanna
be a
see
possibility for you to close out with a card trick here? And
I need
it is the Magic Box show, so
It's the magic. Why do you call it magic?
Well, that's
In your honor.
that's
You're a sweetheart. Okay, this is a little trick that Will Shakespeare used to like because it's about women.
that was one of his 2 favorite things.
What was the other one?
I don't remember. I must have smoked too much pot before I came down
comedian.
here.
Where were we?
The magic.
I was doing the magic trick.
Yes.
Who wants to pick a card?
I will pick a
You'll
card.
wants to
You'll
pick
pick
a
a card.
card.
We'll do the other part with him. Pick any card you like. This one's a really good one. any card.
Especially
Oh,
when
right. I'll pick this one.
It's so nice that you all laugh. All right, you can show people that card or whatever. I'm going to look away, and you're going to help me with. You got it? You're good. Well, you're going to
Yep.
help me with this part. I want you to take that deck and cut it anywhere you like. Place half.
with a
of it.
pair of scissors.
No, with
Not
your
like
with
that.
your hands.
I'll
Well,
sit
you're-
any way I like. Okay.
You're a
Well, only
comedian.
with my hands. I see.
Yeah. No, that's good.
Oh,
That's good.
okay,
Now
okay.
we're going to place that card. I'm not going to look at it. This is called. What did I tell you the name of this trick?
No.
No.
It's called the 4 Queens.
Okay.
The 4 Queens.
Wonderful.
What's it called?
4
The
queens.
4 Queens. That's right. Now we'll place that back in there. What's that?
It's a hotel in Vegas, is it not?
Is
a
it really?
casino, yes.
The 4 queens.
Yeah, downtown, Las Vegas.
I didn't know that.
You should go there.
I got. You want to see a card trick?
Yeah, let's do
Yeah.
it.
Let's do a card
Oh, we were
trick.
doing a card trick. That's
All right, now I'm going to leave those over there. The camera panned away, so they have no idea what I did. But that's all right. We're going to square that
I can
off
promise
there.
he hasn't touched the cards. I've been sitting there this whole time.
Promise.
I promise.
Swear on Shakespeare's Bible.
I'll swear on his sonnets.
What's the name of this trick?
Do something about queens. How many were there? There was 4 of them. That's right.
The 4 Queens. We're going to say a magic word. You know any magic words?
Abracadabra.
That's a good one.
Alakazam.
You know what abracadabra means?
I don't know.
It's from ancient Aramaic.
Is it really?
It means it is created as I say, or as I say it is created. The body is made to happen, it happens.
Interesting. I
So
like
we
that.
say the magic words,
Abracadabra.
abracadabra. Now one of the cards in the deck is going to turn itself over. That's what we call the indicator card.
That's tricky.
If I've done it right, and I so rarely do. But, that's called the indicator card, the card which has turned itself over. Do you know why it's called the indicator card?
Because it indicates something?
Oh, a scholar. There we go. It's the 5 card. That's the indicator card, and that means that our card is how many cards away? I'll give you a hint.
Probably something to do with the number 5.
Something to do with the number 5.
Right, yeah.
Right.
Yes.
I have a better trick I should have done here. All right. Well, you're right. Okay, now let's have you put your hand out if you would. So we're going to count how many cards?
5.
5. Very good. Good. I haven't worked with an audience this slow since Shakespeare. 3, 4. Did I tell you that he used to get stoned a lot?
You did,
I
sir.
told you that.
Absolutely.
I haven't in
Cannabis-
100 years.
Cannabis sativa.
Cannabis sativa. How many cards do we have? 4?
4.
4. Then if I'm correct, is this your card?
It is.
That's your
That was
card.
the card trick.
Wonderfully
And
done.
the name of the trick again?
The 4
4
queens.
queens.
And if you turn over, dear, the cards in your hands.
We have
All 4 of them.
4 queens. Wonderful.
And they're even 4 different queens.
4 different queens.
Each one is a different suit.
RuPaul, Queen Elizabeth, Mary Arden, and Will. Will loved ladies'
Yes,
dresses.
of course.
little of me.
Wonderful,
He
thank
was
you.
a bit of a queen himself.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
How did I do?
I think you did wonderful.
Did
Thank
I?
you very much for
Thank
being on
you
the
so
Magic
much.
Box
That
Talk
was
Show.
Thank you for having me.
Yay!
Thank you.
Engel Meister on the Magic Box. Go see him at the Fringe Festival here in Santa Cruz.